Good morning. There's two types of people. There's only two kinds. There's the ones who vibrate on the higher frequency and a higher resonance. And then there's another kind. Those who don't take heed of the message. The messages are in the shape of, well, they're almost like signs, they're messages. You can take it for what it is. It can be a warning, it can be a catastrophe and a disaster, and you sit back and you wonder what's happening in the world. But by now, you must be aware you've been exposed to it all. So, there's consumers, and then there are those who feed the consumers, and it's all supply and demand. You know, along our path, everything has been paved the way it is before us. And the souls, the ones that know, are vibrating. You shall never sleep, but rest. That aspect is always of the variety, less is more. It's the same with consumption. This is a holistic message. This is health. Before we burn ourselves out, we have to know. The key is, what is it? What does it unlock? It unlocks your higher self, your highest resonance. And if you don't know how to tap into that, this is what causes pain, suffering, disease. Predictive programming, geoengineering, and you ought to be glad this channel isn't a popular channel. You ought to be glad that I am merely as you are, within you one and the same. And when vibration meets vibration, we come to see the light. Anger is futile. This will never result in anything of benefit. As well, if you cannot accept that which is, then you are stuck. You're stuck in a paradigm. And when the shifts occur, and they occur regularly, as you've heard in previous videos, the divine light bodies which reflect unto us from above. This is a story, this is a cyclical nature, this is resonance, and you ought to know who you are. If you don't, well, you miss the boat, because the ark, the ship, it will float when the waters, they open. And the cyclical shift, we know when it occurs. So when it comes to agendas, when it comes to supply and demand, when that rocket ship flies up and you don't know what that rocket ship resembles, you don't know who we are. If you don't know who you are, then you've forgotten. If you've forgotten, you're doomed. You're lost. So we must remember the truth of the past. We must not forget. See, those who thrive are those who survive during the times of excessive consumption, during the times of depletion within our system, of which the powers that be are in charge and control always. We run a tight ship here, so you really must change. Change is the order of the day, and if you can't, then when that shift occurs, it's gonna cause the majority to suffer. And look, immortal, ice, rock hard, or polarity, you must be the all in the aether. You must be like water. You must be able to flow. So when the gates of heaven open, you're on the ship. And this is like, we're not talking in tales here. If you don't know by now what's occurring, if you don't know who you are, if you haven't recognized that, well then, you must look deep within and accept. Then you must surrender. You must ask yourself for forgiveness. Then you must reach out and make a decision. Who are you serving? Are you serving the machine? The goods that the machine provides? The products? The materials? Or will you become the warrior? Will you rise and fight for collective consciousness to drive through into the next cycle? And the only way that happens, the only way that occurs, is if you're ready to hop aboard that ship, because that ship leads to salvation. This will be a nugget 10 minutes. We're talking about how to unlock the hidden energy. We're talking about how to become one and all within the infinite, vast expanse of this plane. Because if you're still watching, like, if you're still watching the mainstream programming, if you're still consuming those products, if you're still captivated by the entrancement, if you are trapped in that game, make a change. Do it now. Alright?